I think everything's gonna work just fine. I haven't done this in a hot minute. And by that I mean literally I took 1 day off. Oh no. Shiny Hunter didn't shiny hunt for 1 day. It's the end of the world. Alright. None of these are good. I mean, Tentacruel is okay. I guess in this situation I just take the worst thing available to me. Please don't. Oh, I hate them. They all sat there. I say all. There were two. They both sat there and picked like the worst things available. There was an electric type right there. And I said, no, I want the one that's going to be 4 times weak. Okay, there's a grass type I can get. I think this is going to be the best. Yeah, because Blaziken gets 4 times on this, I think. I'm pretty sure it's Bug Steel. I don't know. I should know this. That's a Unova Pokemon. Yeah, I'll use the physical move because it's physical. And I'm playing as Blaziken. I don't think I'm gonna need the Dynamax. Yeah. I do think I've already lost a life though, which is unfortunate. Definitely not ideal. Okay, I just had a thought. Actually, I don't know if I want to do that right now. Probably don't even need to. I was gonna start setting up my Alpha Sapphire to do shiny lock removal, but I'm pretty sure there's files already done online to patch that. Do I need this? Okay, good. Please take it. That's at least better than what you had. Yeah, I think there's already files done online at this point to do shiny lock removal, and if anything, I think I can still plug those into the program and edit further if there's anything I wanted to change. So it should be good. I do need to get on ordering a 3DS replacement screen. I did phase on Manectric, I did. That was actually pretty nice. I was messaging my friend actually at the moment I was doing that, because I was talking about like multiple switches for shiny hunting or whatever. And then while I was in the middle of sending that to him, I got the Manectric. I'm like, I think this proves my point. I'm happy to have it. I think I already have a couple of them. I know I've gotten it before. I just don't know if I've actually, like, kept any of them, because they might have been on older saves that I don't have anymore. But it's nice to have. It was another right game shiny as well, which makes me hope that the left game is about to pay out with something. Thinking logically, if I get at least a 50 today, I should get another shiny, because at that point the left game will have hit odds. So I'm hoping left game pays out today. It might not. Might be alright again. I'll just use close combat, honestly. I do not care enough. I'm not keeping the Blaziken, it's weak. Although I do need to get that Piloswine out. See, this works out nice, because the Pokemon I have, I'm keeping on the host game. Oh, that did good damage. Wow. See, I'm hoping that I'll be able to check and see if the Piloswine is going to switch. Because if it does, great. If not, Blaziken. Is there a Nemona command? Does that exist? It does. It does exist. Oh gosh. Okay. Good to know that the NPC hates me. Well, there's two of them. NPCs, I guess. I want to see them do their, like, big brain strategy they did the other day. I was sitting there literally like, why would you want skill swap? That's such a specific use case. And as I'm saying that, the NPC sat there and demonstrated the exact case I needed. It took my dry skin ability, I think it is, took that from me, and then it gave it to a Magmar that we had on the team. So in the Tapu Fini fight, we had the Magmar that was able to do somewhat good damage with its poison move, but then also it was gifted the ability to just not take damage from water moves. It was great. And like, that is a situation I would want that. Good job. And then the AI turnaround literally started doing bad stuff like the very next run, so its praise was short-lived. But I'm glad I had at least one moment where it was actually smart. Boom. Big fire. Okay. I think Skuntank is actually like really nice as well, because I'm pretty sure since it's poison dark, it will be neutral to fairy. That works out great for me, because I've always had Pokemon like Morpeko. It shows up and I'm like, that's great. You do exactly what I need you to do. But then it's part dark, so I'm like, well, you died a fairy, so just hope it never goes for the fairy move on it. Well, that sucks. I kind of wanted that Pilot Swine to swap out. That's so not going to be an issue, having Piloswine up against a water type. Misty Surge. I'll go for a Swords Dance, why not? I like the older Swords Dance animation from like X and Y or whatever. Like, the way the swords looked in that game, I liked it better than the orange ones. I don't remember, what does it look like in Sun and Moon? Okay, that's crazy. Looking something up doesn't actually give me anything at all what I wanted to see. That's crazy. Oh wow! The thing that's weak to the boss we're fighting died. It's insane. It would be more insane if that wasn't even a water move. Yes, I would like to Dynamax. This raises our special attacks. Might actually help me, actually. Because I'm spamming special attacks on Skuntank. I love having to wait just because one of the two switches takes 1,000 years to load. It's great. To watch extra animation. Do it into the Dynamax Pokemon, question mark? No. You didn't think that far. Or, I guess you did actually, because that would probably be the dumbest move on your part. That doesn't KO. That sucks. Okay, but the speed is like greatly lowered here. So, in theory, I should just be able to knock it out. Does Sucker Punch work? It does? Okay. I think I outsped anyways, because it literally just sat there and got a speed drop even. But oh, I was too slow. Will the left game finally pay out? Maybe. Wow, the left game still caught up, even though it was behind. That's crazy. Okay. Nope. 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 And no. That's pretty good, and that's pretty good. From there, they can take whatever they want. Don't take Flare now, thank you. That's not actually any better. That is arguably just as bad. It's still something that's weak to one of the two types. Is there gonna be a way to counteract? There is a grass type, but it's also not that great for me, because even if someone takes the grass type, there is a very good chance they just swap it out at the next thing. There's also just as much of a chance that they don't take it at all, in which case going for the grass type will be a waste of resources. So honestly, I'm almost tempted to say screw it and just pick the path that I think is going to be the easiest to defeat the quickest. Because you know, the less time you spend in battle, the less chance you have to have unnecessary deaths. So it's so cool seeing how many are in stock now. They actually got their act together and restocked a lot of them. Now, yes, I do know that a lot of the restock issues is probably literally just because these are physical products that take time to make. But that also doesn't excuse the fact that they're sitting there with empty slots for like over a year. Just like, it might come back in stock. We don't know. Like, I don't even need to know really when it's coming back in stock. I would just like to know if it's coming back in stock. Because, you know, it's not worth wasting your time trying to catch a restock if the item isn't going to restock. You don't really have anything to cover that. You do, but I have to be sparing with it because, you know, I don't have unlimited moves. Okay, that does kind of suck. Unfortunately, I do believe that Alolan Raichu is sold out. Which is kind of sad because I did kind of want to get Alolan Raichu. But whatever. It's very likely that it's available elsewhere. Giratina is in stock, which I think is pretty cool. Sylveon is still in stock. They 100% knew that Sylveon was going to be high demand and prepared accordingly. Because there's no way it is still in stock unless they intentionally prepared for it to be a high demand. Oh, it did the thing. It did the funny glitch thing where it doesn't... Hold on, I need to think for like 5 seconds. Did the funny glitch thing where it doesn't let me pick my Pokemon or whatever. It's just like, yep, you're committed. Like, no, I'm not, but okay. I just had the greatest idea to torture one of my friends. She hates Buzzwole. Like, physically scared of Buzzwole. So I just had the genius idea, what if I ordered a Buzzwole sitting cutie and mailed it to her? Then she would have no choice but to open a mysterious package and then get Buzzwoled. And I'm in the safe. Tapu Lele is sold out, I checked. So no one can send me a Tapu Lele. Unless it's sold out because someone is sending me a Tapu Lele. In which case I think my problem is pretty bad. Okay, I swear. There was one I was looking at on here that just isn't there anymore. So I don't know if it got sold out within the time I've been looking, or if I'm delusional. Maybe it's further along than I thought it was. So I'm over here trying to find something in an earlier page. Oh, they restocked Gen 1 stuff. I didn't even think about that. Yeah, Gen 1 hasn't had a lot of things in stock for a while. So that's nice to see. Absol's in stock. I already have an Absol though. Gardevoir's back in stock. Yay! Onyx and Cloyster? Would they let me... See, I'm always curious what they let you get away with in orders. Like, let's say hypothetically I ordered very specific very specific letters of the unknown plushes. Spell out whatever words you please, but you know, get the letters to order that specific plush. I mean, get the letters to spell out that specific word. Would they pick up on the fact that I'm getting specific letters and be able to be like, no, because we know what you're going to spell with this? I'm curious, but like, see, I'm curious, but I'm not curious enough to where I want to perhaps spend my money on placing an order like that. Just to have it actually go through, and then cancel it and have to explain, no, I don't actually want these, I just wanted to see what would happen. I hate how they do their listings so much, because they don't... Okay, so they don't list them as like, oh, if something sold out comes back in stock, it's back in stock. No, they leave old listings of sold out products up, and then just relist the product once they get new ones as a separate product. So the sold out page is full of plushes that are in stock. It's just different listings. It's crazy work. I'm tempted to get a Tapu Fini just because that's my current hunt. But I just know, with my luck, the amount of time it would take for that to arrive, I would end up getting the shiny. And I also can't do like planning ahead or whatever because Lele's out of stock. Very unfortunate. Okay, I'm kind of curious to see if I just search like video games as like a basic search. I wonder if I can find like any listings anywhere under that are just like someone selling a whole bunch of random video game things. Because I could probably get a better deal overall. I mean, if I'm really lucky, I could probably get some hidden gems. Ew! No, I'm not. I don't like that. How do I? Can I block listings? Because I'm never buying any of that. Nuh-uh. Buying Pokemon that are obviously genned in and illegal is wrong. Don't spend your money. Do it yourself. Okay, I shouldn't promote that either, but if you're gonna use hacked Pokemon, just get them yourself. Do not pay someone who is doing low effort. Alrighty, it's catching time. Oh, that was so close. I was only like a few frames off too, which is great. Alrighty. It is time to check. Nope. Nope. I think I'll have to double check that one. Nope. And no. Okay. Shiny Giratina. Hello. Hello. Okay, that Mantine was not shiny. That just keeps throwing me off. There's some Pokemon I know are like slightly different, and the right game is like slightly different colors compared to the left game. Which I'm sure if I were playing only one, it wouldn't bother me like at all. I wouldn't even notice. But the fact that I have them both there to compare to each other. Oh, you found Tapu Lele again. I don't need that again because I already have it, but thanks. One of these times it's gonna be shiny, and I'm gonna pop off, and it's gonna be a great day for everyone. But to have a great day, you first have to have a great listing. None of these are good. Take Togedemaru, please. Thank you. Yeah, and that whole route is bad except for the poison type. Who would have guessed? Okay. Oh wait, there's the electric too, but I don't really want to risk phasing a Manectric if I have options. So I guess I'll go left. I don't have any advantages right now, but the next one I'll be able to defeat easy. And then there's the wheezing. Oh, I didn't even realize I had moves that were gonna be good against this. Yay me. I need to find replacement bottom screen. Yes, that's exactly the one I need. See, that's how they get you. They get you with the prices, cause like, you know, you find them for normal price and it's like, okay, yeah, that's normal price. You find one for a lower price and you're like, oh boy, this one's cheaper, I must get this. But then they get you because it's not free shipping. So half the time you end up paying like just as much for shipping, if not more. Also, hi, how's it going? Welcome. I remember one time I tried to like find Pokemon cards or whatever. I used like a website that like I guess would search for any card listings based on the cards you said you wanted, and it would like give you the best deals on them or whatever. Like, you know, it would do all this research or whatever. And I was like, oh, this is great, and a lot of these cards I want are pretty cheap. But of course, since they're not all coming from one place and instead are coming from random sellers, the total cost for the cards was like maybe $20. The cost of shipping was like over $100. And I'm like, no. Why would I pay like 20 times more for shipping on a product than the actual product? It doesn't make sense. Why would I spend more money? I don't know. Give it a second, it's kind of slow. Okay. This is bad. But I'm gonna... Oh, it did the glitch again, didn't it? I hate that it does that, but they're never gonna patch that out now. That annoys me. And I genuinely have no clue why it does that. I need to figure out why that's an issue and see if I can fix the issue. I don't know if this has levitate. It probably literally just showed it has neutralizing gas and I'm stupid. I'm gonna stare at the screen so I don't miss it. Okay, I can hit with ground moves. Sweet. Boom. Yeah, why not? Give me special move boost. And then what does this game want? Eviolite, obviously. I'm using a not fully evolved. Duh. You're honestly not that great, so you're just gonna spam whatever. Oh, I know exactly what the game's about to do. It's about to knock out the wheezing because it's the biggest threat and has low HP. Oh, really? It didn't do that. Big damage. I can knock it out next turn, but I need everything to go perfect. I can knock it out next turn, but I need everything to go perfect. Oh. Okay. This is possible. Chansey might go down here. Yeah, whatever. Whatever. Hold on. Does that... Is it? Oh. I still got one more. Oh. I forgot about Togedemaru. Yeah. Is it worth Dynamaxing? I don't know. Swift Swim. I have Swift Swim. Please. Yes! Knocked it out. Let's go. I was about to do so much preparation. Aw. Mistimed it. I was about to do so much preparation there just to make sure I minimized my chances of getting knocked out. And then I'm like, oh wait, if Palpitoad has Swift Swim, I don't need to worry about anything. And then Togedemaru just outspeeds anyways. So, that works out great for me. Okay. Any shinies? No. 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 And no. I always have to give this right game a head start because it just loads so much slower. Hopefully I get a shiny today, because the left game is getting up there in odds, so I think it's due to pay out with something. Not saying that something has to be the Tapu Fini, just saying it needs to pay out. I mean, gosh, if I hit 50, which is just 2 more full runs, it'll be at odds. Technically over odds, because there's a few I failed. Ooh, grass and electric. And honestly, the things they took weren't even that bad. Like, there were worse options on the field. Okay. Come on. Come on, buddy. I hate that. I actually hate that, because you are actually at a disadvantage if you're playing on Switch 1 in this case. Because the timer is already going, even while you're still waiting for the game to load. So you have less time to look. Now, in theory, it shouldn't matter, because if anyone is playing on Switch 2, or whatever, like, assuming you're playing multiplayer, you have ways to communicate with everyone. So, they would be waiting for you to speak anyways, so it's not like the biggest deal that it takes time. Please don't kill me, Nintendo. I promise I didn't mean to just do that. Well, I got no choice. It physically won't let me pick anything. It's mean. I love how everyone is just not a fan of the new Switch 2 Joy-Con colors. Like, I saw one thing, yeah, $20 you can order shells that actually expand the color. Give it to Alfie. Okay. Wait, this might have poison jab, so I'll go for it. Brick Break, oh my gosh, that is proving to be the most effective thing I have right now. Yeah! Give the 4-type super effective move more damage! Let's go! Big damage. Okay, that was kind of small, but to be fair, it's a Grovyle. Grovyle. Big damage. Actually, this works out great because I'm pretty sure this means Executor is going to get to Dynamax in the Tapu Fini battle. Hello. I don't know if that was very delayed. This on-screen thing is killing me. It's so delayed. Like, it's insane. I don't know how delayed I am, but hello. Hi. I'm trying my best to keep up, but it does not help when there's like a 50-second delay, it feels like. It's only supposed to be 2. but I think it's more like 10. So I promise I try to read things as quickly as I see them. And honestly, half the time I just flip over to actual chat. I'm gonna be honest. That does not help. Am I American? Yes. Yes, indeed. Bishop. I don't need that, but if Alfie wants to switch, okay. Never mind. Actually, thank you for not actually, no. I don't think it matters, because I think the steal negates the fairy type issue. I was going to be like, oh, maybe that's better for me, though, because Alfie would have taken something that's... Yeah, I'll take a new citrus berry. This one was rotten. You got foreign ditto just now? Nice. I love foreign dittos. They are the best. I love Masuda methoding. Okay, I say I love Masuda method, but like the only game I ever actually do Masuda in is Sword and Shield. And I actually despise doing it in Sword and Shield because for the longest time that's the only thing we knew how to do. So everyone's just doing Masuda because it's the best method to do. And then of course we wait until after the game's life cycle is over to figure out, oh nope, we were wrong. Big damage. Boom. Some guy named Mark just volunteered to trade to you during another Shrine Hunt stream. Nice. I like when Pokemon fans aren't jerks. Because, like, if you try to trade with anyone without proper communication, it's always just like they're trying, you know, you don't have communication and they're just trying to act like their Pokemon are worth way more than they are. So it's like, I have this super common Pokemon that is just slightly inconvenient to get your hands on because it like takes time to do like one little thing for it or whatever. But because of that, they're like, nope, you have to trade me your precious box legendary. Honestly, half the time trading online just feels like it's RNG, whether like you just get connected to some bot and it's RNG whether or not it decides it wants to trade with you. It's hilarious. I should start looking at both screens half the time. Flip back over. It's nice though. I like when people do things. Generous people are always nice. I always like as well when people who can afford to get games earlier, like on release date. But I think it's really nice when people like who get the game on release date because they have the ability to do so. You know, they play through the game and then they do their best to collect more starters. You know, like they get all the starters and then they start breeding them or whatever to send out over like surprise trades and stuff. So that way, like on Christmas time or whatever, like when people actually get the games, there are people already like, yep, we're willing to use our time and effort to prepare more starters so you guys can have everything you need. It's always nice. I like that people do that. Why are you... Okay, that worked, but you're stupid. Why would you... Why would they not just helping hand this... There was a Pokemon on the field that has a move that was going to be good for this. Why would you not... Boop. And boop. I responded to marketing. Yeah, that's actually why I mentioned the people being jerks and stuff. Just because, you know, it's always nice when people aren't jerks and they do actually do nice things for the community. I remember at one point I really struggled to get a foreign Ditto because I had a bunch of, like, I tried to use the trade code that exists or whatever, where it's like, if you use it, you know, everyone on there kind of like has the agreement that it's only to be used to trade Dittos with each other. So I would get like 20 English people, so we would just back out of the trade and everything, and then I finally find one person that has a foreign Ditto, and I'm like, oh boy, I'm getting one. They show it, they tease me with it, but then they never actually go through with the trade, and it's like, are you just here to flex the fact that you have one? Makes you feel like a real person when random strangers are nice to you online. I like when people are nice to each other. There's no reason not to be. I don't know. Like, I guess I get it because it literally takes like the same amount of energy to be nice as it does to hate on people. So like, you know. But like, I don't know. Although I will say, if I could change the price of anything to be $1, it would be being kind. Kindness is free? Nuh-uh. Costs $1 now. Just because I think it's funny, because people are like, you know, it's free to be, it's free to be kind. Nuh-uh. Costs $1 now. Pay up. That goes right into my pocket. They probably just got the Ditto from their friend. That's true. Of course, really, it's not even actually that hard to get a foreign Ditto if you are okay with spending some time on it. Because, you know, modern Pokemon games, you get to pick the language that you play in, which also determines the language of the Pokemon. So, like in Sword and Shield, I think it's like hour and a half or whatever. But yeah, I remember at one point I just really wanted a foreign Ditto and I had no way of getting it because I didn't even have Switch Online. So I started a second save and put it in another language. It just played for like an hour and a half until I got to a point where I could use a wishing piece or whatever on one of the raid dens. Then I reset it until I got I lost focus the second I locked it. Yeah, I just reset until I got one with Ditto in it and then traded it over through home. It now costs £1 to be straight. Guess I'm living for free. For real! I love living for free. Woohoo! Can't stop me. I'm living free. Now that reminds me of like Sonic's advertising, and this is not a jab at Sonic. I actually quite like Sonic when I do get it. But I think it's always funny that like all their advertising is like, do this, live free or whatever. And it's like, that's not possible because it costs money to eat here. How do I live for free if it costs money to purchase your products? Make it make sense. You weren't joking about living for free? Wow. Really easy way to live free. Step 1, tax evasion. Okay, what you want to do is not pay your taxes, because if you don't pay your taxes, you're not spending money. Alright, but then that introduces the second issue, because you're gonna need food, because like you can't survive long. So shoplift. Boom. So you shoplift, you commit tax evasion, and then boom. It's literally free life. Now the only issue is you'll probably have to move in with Fat Yoshi, because he is the king of tax evasion. Now I'm kidding, you're not supposed to do tax evasion, pay your taxes, don't steal. Or just go on your winter bulk and you're good for a month. Yeah. Wish it costs 1K to be rude in any way that involves all discrimination. For real. Then you actually have to think about it. Of course, that doesn't help for like rich people, because that's like pocket change to them. Like, for every time they could possibly discriminate against someone, they're probably already making back the money, which is insane. Nothing here is that good, but the Dedenne, that's what I want. That's the end goal. I'm going to explode. That's why rich people are jerks. It makes, yeah, it does make sense now. So what I'm thinking here is get rich and then not be a jerk, just to prove it's possible. Not all rich people, I might have just read that, not all rich people are jerks. Yeah, you know. I was gonna say something like, all jerks are rich people, but not all rich people are jerks, but that doesn't work, because there are very much jerks that are not rich people. Honestly, I just, that typo, I love that. Like, that's one of my favorite typos I've seen, just because like it has all the right letters. You just swap two of them. It's like the square rectangle. Yeah. What is it, like all squares are rectangles, but not all rectangles are squares? There's a fandom. Yeah, there's actually a huge fandom for rich people being jerks. It's actually like very huge. Like, have you seen what they get up to? Rich people fandom would go crazy. I think those exist. I'm pretty sure those exist. I'm pretty sure if you take like any rich and famous person, they do indeed have a fandom. And they have their haters, so it's a true fandom. I think that's like one of the 2 requirements. Me misinterpreting things always tends to always cause some loss. Misinterpretations are fun. Like, oh my gosh. I knew someone at one point who, like, I don't know if this was just intentional after a certain point or what, but like, he would always, like, once you finished a sentence, he'd be like, oh, I thought you were about to say, and then said something that was like along the lines of whatever, but it would always be something that's like, I can see how you got there, but that's still ridiculous to think that I would have just said that. So it just got to funny things. It's like, oh, okay, and then you know, we'd go back on that and then act like that was what I was gonna say. It was funny. I loved it. I love misinterpretation. Only people in those fandoms are themselves? Wow. Which kind of fandom, though? That's a good question. We should look into that. I swear, I am getting more efficient at doing Dynamax adventures every day. Because it took me 3 hours the first time to get to 14, I think. And then the second time, I did all of that in way less. I'll take it. Why not? There's probably a fandom for everything. That's true. I mean, yeah, because, you know, if you think about it, typically, I mean, no, that doesn't work because there are people who are neutral on things. But, like, you know, typically people either like something or they don't like it. So, you know. They're their own lovers and haters. Wow. Peanut butter and jelly fandom. Unless, what else could PB&J stand for? That. See, I love doing that. I read something that, like, no way you could misinterpret this, and then I think of all the ways I could misinterpret it. Oh, I can get away with Poison Jab. I didn't even realize it was 20 PP. Fandoms for unlikable characters in media usually only exist if they're hot. True. Pine bark and jello. Pine bark and jello. Yeah, I'm doing good. We're talking about, what is it, rich people fandoms? I don't even know what the subject is at this point. Pine bark and jello, maybe? I don't know. Pretzel bread and Jordan. Well, rest in peace, Bisharp. Pineapple. Oh, okay. You don't know about beef jerky and Nissan 2011 engine? What? Pineapple, berry, and jalapenos. Wow. Oh, what do... I don't know. I don't know anything about that. Is that like a real thing? Did someone like drop beef jerky into one of them and something happened? Like, what? Beef jerky powered cars. Oh, there's no way I win this. Surely. Why every time somehow sour whole type of conversation that no one. I like talking about the most random things, because you know I'm sitting here playing Pokemon, doing the exact same thing. Literally any conversation is better than just staring blankly. That's why I don't. That's something I started doing. I don't really shiny hunt on my own time anymore. Like, if I'm gonna play something on my own time, it's not typically Pokemon. It's a game I actually want to play. Now, sometimes that happens to be Pokemon just to play through a game. But, like, on my own time, I don't really shiny hunt. Because it's just boring and repetitive if you don't have things to distract yourself. So I just find it easier to not shiny hunt on my own time. Now occasionally if there's hunts that like just are physically demanding of time, I might sometimes be in the mood to do like shorter sessions or whatever. Definitely extroverted. I'm very much not. I am like extremely introverted. Now, if it's like online, just typing in a group chat or whatever, I don't care because, you know, I'm not saying anything. I'm just typing my thoughts. But like in person, I am extremely introverted unless I am around someone who I like fully trust. And then I just talk to them nonstop. Okay, it is possible for me to defeat this thing. Brilliant Aura hunts are probably the most interactive way of shining. I was doing one of those for a bit, but I put it on hold because a bit of context for what I'm doing right now. So obviously there's the things that... What was I gonna say? Okay, so yeah, there's the legendaries that were unlocked specifically through Dynamax adventures, and I'm pretty sure this is the only way to get a lot of them still, because Scarlet and Violet locked everything again for some reason. So what I'm doing right now is doing Dynamax adventures to get all 4 Tapus. I need Solgaleo, Necrozma, and Zygarde. I already have Lunala from this, fortunately. But after I do all that, I'm actually going to transfer them safely into home for a bit, and then reset the games, because I'm going to start doing full odds hunts. Or full odds, put that in quotes, just no charm. Like, I'll be open to doing methods. And I really want to do some Brilliant Aura hunts, because it's a cool method. Like, I'm glad that we finally figured it out. And I'm definitely excited to try it because it seems fun. You're about to say OMG Tapu Fini, but then you remember that you could save it and redo it. Yeah. I think there's sometimes, like, if I'm really, like, not focused or whatever and forget what I'm actually doing, I'll look up and be like, oh, legendary! And I'm like, oh. And then I instantly remember that, yeah, that's how these work. And there are sometimes I forget which one I did, so I'm like, oh no way, I was wanting to hunt that one. I'm like, well, yeah, I am hunting that one. That's why I encountered it. This is not looking good. Usually chat a lot on streams and WhatsApp and when you're with your friends, family, but anything else you just hate having any attention whatsoever. You people look, you just want. That's fair. One of my biggest things is, like, if anyone looks at me, I always instantly think they're judging me for whatever reason. So I always get concerned because there are some people that, like, I'm just around a lot because of classes or whatever. So it's just like, yeah, I'm around them a lot and I lost. Oh well. That is not my fault. It cheated. Anyways. Yeah, so I'm around these people a lot. Big surprise. I'm going to be seeing them a lot, so I'm always like, oh, I think they're judging me. Like, no. You're just around them a lot. Okay, that sucks. Womp womp. Probably ambiverted. That makes sense. Alright, no. 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 I almost freaked out a bit over the left game because I saw the right game first and then saw the darker colors on the left game. But then I remembered the right game is just brighter. And Dedenne is not that slightly different. This is going to be annoying because the left game has the path. So, you know, it's short text. But the right game, you know, I don't have that one. Do you want to save it? No. Have you not picked up on the fact that I've talked to the same... I've connected with the exact same other account like 48 times. Not actually, it's more like 24, give or take. Like, I think you should figure out by now that I'm doing something here. Two options that you think when people look at you are they're judging you or they have a crush on you, but in reality they just look your direction. Yeah, a lot of times that's probably it. I do remember one time there was someone. So I was sitting with my friend in the cafeteria and we were just talking during lunch, and then there was someone sitting behind him that looked over at me but gave me like the funniest look ever. I'm like, what did I do? Do you know someone that I know? I'm confused. Like, who are you? And this happened a few more times, and then I was like, okay, I'm uncomfortable. Can we move? We moved. And then they appeared again. And it's like, okay, no, that's weird. You are following me. That's creepy. I didn't like that. See, like, I could have let that go if it was just like, oh yeah, whatever. They probably weren't even looking actually at me. But the fact that they moved with us, like the one time we actually moved, like, I don't like that. I really need to get on ordering my replacement 3DS screen. The sooner I do that, the sooner I can get back into dual hunting and DS games. And 3DS games. I don't know, I'm starting to regret buying the one I did. Because I'm like, oh, I'll buy the original model 3DS because it's the cheapest one I can find. And, you know, it works. And it works, but it's not as efficient for like sun and moon hunting and everything. Which makes me kind of wish I just bought the new 3DS. But, you know, I've heard apparently 3DS prices are going up now. So that's gonna suck for if I do want to get another one, but it's fine. I don't think I have any reason to buy another 3DS anytime soon. I also don't have the money for it. Also, hello, I'm very delayed today. Hello, welcome. You like it when people talk about me even if I'm not in the same room, even if it's negative? Yeah. Like, if I'm getting talked about by people, then, like, do you know that frogs drink through their skin and then eat their skin? Oh, I did not know that. Hoot frog, I did not know that about you. Man, I like when I hear that people were talking about me or whatever. It's like, oh, wow. And what I heard from one of my teachers once, which was probably one of the best things I was ever told, or whatever, as far as advice, is, as she said, I don't care if you want to talk good about me or bad about me behind my back, because the fact that you're talking about me at all means I'm in your head. So even if it's talking bad stuff, you're still giving, the win still goes to the person you're talking about, because they got onto you enough to where you have to go and talk to someone else about them. Like, yeah, you do still kind of give them the win there. This is bad. To be fair, the NPCs also have just bad stuff, so I do not care. Apparently someone was saying that you was so gay to someone else and you was glad they know you. Yeah? I mean, it's the small victories. I don't care what you say about me. As long as I know what's true about myself, it does not matter. Okay, leftover. Why not? The Violite sitting right there on the game that has an not fully evolved Pokemon. Executor. Okay. I don't have anything good for it. Do I have a bug move at all? Oh wow, I do have a bug move. It just doesn't do damage, unfortunately. And of course, the two Pokemon that have super effective moves aren't attacking. You know, if it's to my face a negative, you'll hit, but behind your back and you've been told someone saying that. Yeah, that makes sense. How often do I see? Okay, that's a bit of an interesting question. I gotta look at my little history real quick, just to give the best answer I can. So, I used to do it like a whole bunch, and I'm not kidding there either. Like, pretty much every day, if I had the ability to, was how much I did it. But then I got like extremely busy with classes and stuff because I had the worst schedule for actually doing anything. Took up my entire day every day. Just wasn't worth it. So I kind of stopped for a bit. But recently, now that I'm like on a break, I've been doing Pokemon here and there. I did the Mega Dimension DLC. I kind of took a break. Then I set up the two systems because my second capture card is funny, so I had to work with that. But now I've been doing it just about every day. I think I did skip yesterday so far, but I kind of made up for it because I also did 2 in one day. Because the first one I did in that day was shorter than the last session I did, so I was like, I'll do 2 in one day. Anyways, I should be more available to do this kind of stuff going forward. So I'm thinking like every other day, like Monday, Wednesday, Friday or something. Or Tuesday, Thursday, Saturday. Probably Tuesday, Thursday, Saturday. I don't know. It just depends. I'd like to do every day if possible, but I just don't know if I'll have that kind of time. That's one of those things where I have to wait and see what life is going to be like. But I'll figure it out, I'm sure. I think this was in your recommended because you love Sword and Shield. That makes sense. I like Sword and Shield. They're not my favorite games, but I like them. I'm definitely not a Sword and Shield hater. I can't really hate them because, like, while they're not my favorite, they are still kind of special because they were my first Pokemon games I actually played, so, you know, if it weren't for these games, I probably wouldn't be playing Pokemon, like, at all. So, good on them for existing. I'll have to look at my second screen. I keep forgetting about that. Frogs are silly billies? Yes, they are. Frogs are goofy. We love frogs. I'm excited to see what they do for the 30th anniversary. I'm sure at the next Direct we're gonna hear Gen 10 announcement. I feel like that's probably what's next. And now I'm actually curious as well, because, you know, typically Pokemon games are on the, like, a generation lasts like 3 years or whatever, or every 3 years we get the new generation, something like that. I don't know. But with Gen 10, we are actually getting an extra year of being in Generation 9. Because, you know, ZA came out last year. That was supposed to be when Gen 10 would have come out. So I feel like they might have actually intentionally done that, just so Generation 10's release would line up with the 20th anniversary. I said 20th, then I meant 30th. I would like if they would keep the 4-year pattern or whatever that they just did, because it would be nice, I think. I don't want that. Love the ribbon noise. Why would you switch? You had a good Pokemon. I hate NPCs in this game. Is that a weakness policy? At least you're smart. But I'm pretty sure if you get hit at all, you're gonna die. You're at like 1. The ribbit noise. Oh, yeah. Ribbit noise. Ribbit. Is this still the same adventure? It depends on what you mean. If it was... If you mean like the one you came in on, no, this is a different one. But if you mean the one that was going on like 2 seconds ago, then yes. Who dares message me? Been on for it. It has, yeah. So the reason for that is because I'm one of the people. I know there's like 2 ways to do this. I'm one of the people who only counts it if I beat the Dynamax adventure. So I've done more than 40. Okay, put that in air quotes because I'm counting double. Technically, you have that to find out how many I've actually done, since I just have 2 systems going. So technically, I've only done 24, but I'm playing on 2 systems, so I'm counting both. Anyways, the point of that being, I do it like this because I want to know how many Tapu Finis I've seen, not necessarily how many I've done entirely. So I just don't count the ones I don't win. Which is technically skewed, because that Mayonetric, while that was on one I defeated properly and everything, like, technically that wasn't the 34th. But I just do it this way because I like it better. I should add a frog. Okay, so context for frog stuff. So I'm in marching band, and one of our what was I gonna say? One of our mascots is a frog because our favorite stand tune is called Leapfrog. So yeah, frogs are iconic. Why'd it go so quiet? I locked in on something for like a couple minutes there. That's exactly. Oh, hey, it's no longer going to be on 48. We're going up to 50. Yay! The left game needs to pay out now. Boop. Give it a second. Boop. Oh, they're pretty much in sync. Alright. Dynamax balls are just giant glowing premier balls. That's so true. I hate this. So my second screen is, I don't have another screen to hook it up to with output, so I can only view it through OBS. So if I click off of that, I just can't see it. So there was a chance that Charmeleon was shiny and I was delayed. Anyways, no. 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 Shiny. Aww. It hates me. It hates me. Nothing at all. I used to have this purple rock pad. You thought it was cool? Nice. I love painted rocks. They're fun. Would you like to keep a record? Yes, I would like you to keep a record. And then the right game is not gonna keep the record. Boom. You have so many cuddly toys for your age. I have, okay, so I got this little shelf unit thingy that holds a bunch of stuff. So the floor level, which is literally just on the floor sitting under the lowest shelf, I have a bunch of like console accessories and stuff, like wires, chargers, that I'm not currently using. It's all just kind of shoved under there so I don't have to worry about looking at it. They are in bags though, so it is somewhat organized. The next shelf has my laptop, my Switch Lite, which I don't really use that much, honestly, and a bunch of like system cases for if I ever go on trips with my stuff. Next shelf has my balance board, GameCube, Wii U gamepad, N64, and GameCube controllers. And then next shelf is kind of like where all my music stuff is, so you know, fun. And then the top two shelves are for plushes. And I have a lot of sitting cuties. I've been not collecting them because, like, you know, I would buy them a lot more often. I'm more of a game collector than something like that, but you know, I still have a lot. I get stuff I like. So I have like Meloetta, Decidueye, Eevee, Absol, Xerneas, Yveltal, Reshiram, Zekrom, Kyurem, and Kyurem Black. Unfortunately, Kyurem White is sold out on their website, so I can't get one yet. That will be my goal as soon as I can get one, though, to complete that set. Found your frog? Nice. Nice. And then this makes me so happy. They did a huge restock on like all their sold out plushes, pretty much. I was able to get myself a Sylveon one finally. I wanted this thing so badly, but it was never in stock. Like nowhere had Sylveon. And the only place I could find it were like secondhand for like 2 to 3 times the price. But even then, those weren't like new. That was like for someone who had already taken it out of the packaging and has already, you know, you don't know what it's been through then. How do I know you didn't do a bunch of weird things with it? Now, don't misinterpret that. Weird things in general. Just like, you know, you don't know what someone did with the thing. So I was like, if I'm getting this thing, I'm just going to get it officially from the website. And they restocked, so I was able to get one. I love it. We'll be right back. I ain't going anywhere. I just started this one. I'm locked in for the next like 15 minutes, give or take. Are you going anywhere though? Can I trust you on that? Okay, so I have two 3DS systems. I think I've mentioned this. They're both modded because one is a Japanese system, so I had to mod it if I wanted to play in my English games on it. And the other one is my main system, which I modded just because you get a lot of nice things out of it, like custom themes and stuff. I loaded on this nice Sylveon theme I found. I like it. And I also just sat here and organized earlier today all my games. So I have a folder with a whole bunch of Pokemon. It has like custom injections for a lot of the Game Boy Advance games. And then like Crystal, Black 2, White 2, Heart Gold, Soul Silver. I have the two 3D remakes of the N64 Zelda games. Let's Hippo! Oh, it did the glitch. I hate that. I have a folder for Final Fantasy, so I have the 3 Final Fantasy. Well, I think it's just 3. I don't know if I'm missing any other releases. But I have Final Fantasy 3, Final Fantasy 4, and Final Fantasy 12 Revenant Wings. Those were all released on DS. So, I have those. I have a couple of Game Boy. I have Final Fantasy 4 and 6 for Game Boy Advance loaded on because I like those two. Then I have the American console releases of Final Fantasy in America. So I have Final Fantasy 1, 2, which is 4, 3, which is 6. Pretty cool. I have a bunch of RPGs loaded on here. I have Xenoblade 3D, but I'm never going to play that because I have the deluxe version on Switch. I have some Kirby games on here too. I've never... Okay, no, that's a lie. I've played a Kirby game. It was the very first one on Game Boy. Or whatever. Yeah, I have some nice stuff on here. I like it. It's pretty cool. And it's the Sun and Moon Special Edition New 3DS XL, so it looks nice. That was my most wanted 3DS. Like, if I had to spend money on a 3DS, it was going to be that one. So, it's nice to have. Although I am looking into getting another new 3DS. Not an XL, probably just a regular model. If you're straight and you know it, clap your hands. Okay. Let's Hippo. If I get the shiny, I might genuinely say let's Hippo. I'm hoping... Okay, I don't know how I want to do this, because... Okay, so... Last time I did Dynamax Adventures Hunt, I made 1 or 2 compilations. I need to double check, actually. I opened the wrong thing in another tab. Oopsies. Your name will be engraved to the history books. Yeah, I did compilations of the shiny reactions I had. Yeah, so my first one was just a vape So I started off doing just single reactions. Looks like no one clapped. Yeah. Oh no. So the first one was just Vaporeon. The second one was a compilation of Lairon and Claydol. Third one was actually kind of unique because it was Salazzle, but it was on my Switch Lite because I didn't have. Okay, so I still have it, but I used to only have an OLED and Switch Lite. So the Switch Lite I would have to like record separately because you can't dock that. So yeah, hopefully no one's going bald. Oh, and then I had a break from that in Pokemon X Friend Safari. I got Xatu and Sigilif. And then I did a compilation of 4 Dynamax Adventure Shinies. And then the last video I did related to that was the actual video for the target, which was Rayquaza. And I think it's funny because Rayquaza did not spend long on the layout. I'm pretty sure like instantly it got replaced. But yeah, I'm tempted to make those videos again, but for this hunt. But I don't know how I want to do it because I already have 2 reactions saved up. But I'm thinking about waiting a bit because then I can do perhaps 3 or 4 if that happens. You know, just try to get as many reactions compiled into one as possible. But also I feel like if I wait too long, I'm just going to end up getting the shiny and then they all need to go together. So honestly, what I think I might start doing is like every handful during the hunt, start releasing them. And then if I have any remaining and I get the shiny, then I'll just compile all of that into the one thing or something. Oh, who's funny and shouldn't go bald? Well, everyone shouldn't go bald on purpose. True, true. I need to. Okay, this makes me kind of sad. So, my N64 controller, which I'm currently holding now, it's a third-party one, but it's got a great feel to it and everything. Okay. Anyways, the stick was very sticky, but not in a good. Like, if you held it in certain directions, it wouldn't return properly, and it would just get stuck in those directions. And it made an awful squeak sound, so I'm like, okay, I'll just clean it out a bit. That didn't do anything. So I gave it some lubrication, and it started working great. But now it only registers up right and down left, which sucks. And I'm pretty sure the way this entire thing is put in here, it's not that easy to just replace the stick itself. So I might see if I can find a cheap N64 controller that's like an official one or whatever, and then just put it in this shell so I get the color I want. That might be what I do. You've been here for a while. Are you officially my biggest fan? I guess. I mean, there are definitely big fans. I haven't seen a lot of people in a while since I came back, but that's fair. I don't think anyone has any way of knowing I am doing stuff again. Like, unless you checked every day. Walks in, throws an egg, jumps to a pipe, back to the... Okay. So there's an egg now. I have an egg. What do I do with this egg? Also, I think this is kind of funny, and I will point it out. So, I did the badge quest for Violet. It did great. I did playthrough of Pokemon X leading up to ZA. That did great. And then, of course, I kind of disappeared forever with no trace of my existence. So, yeah. Anyways, I've been trying to put stuff out that are like smaller projects. Just because they're easier to do, they're shorter, easier to watch. And, you know, they just are shorter videos. And now I'm kind of stuck because there are like 2 projects I want to do next. But both of them are very likely going to be another big project that will not only take me forever to do, but also quite literally be very long videos. So, what I'm thinking I'm gonna do is start whichever one I pick. I'm leaning towards one specifically right now, which I'm not gonna say, but I'm gonna probably do that one. And then, since it'll take me forever to do, you're sorry for your previous it doesn't matter. Yeah, I think because I have not huge backlog, I won't say that, but I have at least 2 videos that I can put out because I still have, like, I downloaded the streams to do the Mega Dimension shiny reactions I had. I just haven't gone around to do that because I was sick right when I was gonna do that. This run is not gonna be a win, I just know it. You got time out recently because you said shower thought what you thought they were. No, wow, that's crazy. That happens, unfortunately. Yeah, I'm hoping with me being hopefully able to get back into doing stuff like this more often. Okay, yeah, I just lose this. The breaks between long videos should work out themselves, because while I'm in the middle of like getting footage for those, I'll be able to edit shiny reactions, which are very easy to do. There are no shinies because I lost. Wow, that's not how that works. Those can be shiny. There's only 10 seconds and it didn't even work. Yeah. Give serpents personal slacking with Machamp eating Sylvia. Oh. Interesting. That's a sentence. It's not the one I want, but it's a sentence. There is no context. You just have to accept it. Butterfree's actually really good for Tapu Fini. And Bulu, I think. None of these are great, so I take the worst. Well. Okay, so that's actually fine, because, like, they don't have the worst things imaginable. They just don't have the best things. Which means I can prioritize the path that gets me something good. And I think the right might actually be the play. Now, unfortunately, I try my best to avoid this if possible, but I don't think it's happening. Typically, I try to avoid Pokemon that I've already phased on as much as possible. Because, you know, I don't really want to have the chance of phasing on something more than I need to. So if there's alternate routes that work just as well, I'll try to do them. But in this case, I think with what's available, it is better to go this way. Even though that means I might get another... It's not Lilligant, is it? No, it's Lurantis. Yeah. Might accidentally get another Lurantis. Man, these moves are garbage for this, specifically. These moves are actually very good elsewhere. Game's lacking and both people receive 50 McNuggets. Oh wow. I don't know if I can down 50 McNuggets right now. Your lips don't touch when you say touch, but they do when you say separate. Yeah. Words are funny. I think I saw another thing. I forgot exactly how it went, but it was like when you say forward, your lips move forward, but when you say backward, they go backwards or whatever. Like, I don't even know. I made a contribution to a group chat that I'm not even actively getting notifications for. I just looked at it. Separate touch. It's supposed to be my name. You can eat 50 McNuggets. Oh, you can't eat 50 McNuggets. What if the legendary Pokemon go on down and switch? Oh. Okay. I guess I'm eating 50 McNuggets. Therefore, separate touch. Yeah, this path is very inconvenient already, but if I can get through the Mantine quickly enough, it might not actually be that bad. I love going to the void. Would you rather eat 30 Big Macs or 30 Whoppers? That's a tough one because I've never had either before, so I don't know which one is better or which one's gonna be easier to eat 30 of. I don't know, I'm not really a hamburger person. I'd rather drink water. So true. Hydrate or dihydrate or something, I guess. I don't know. I don't... No, Cramorant. Hey, it's a flying squad. Load. Okay, if we're all flying types, hypothetically, we take this thing out like instantly. Water show refreshing. Bet it is. Your gangsta name is the color of the shirt and the last thing you drank. Blue Baja Blast. Oh yeah. Blue Dew. Blue Dew. That sounds like a name they would use for sure for like some kind of Mountain Dew product. Introducing Mountain Dew Blue Dew. That's fair. I know that definitely happens. Which is why I just don't wake up in the middle of the night. Black water. White water, black water. Gray water. Gosh. This game is not reading my inputs. I mash A and it still doesn't go all the way through. When you saw the thing about the gangster, you were wearing white. And then you change into black, I guess. Makes sense. Cyan apple juice? So, no one needs to switch out here. Purple Coke. Sadness, Pepsi, Blue. Oh. One of the NPCs, please. They both wanted it. That is the best thing to ever happen. Oh, wait, there's Gorgeist right there. And I bet you Gorgeist has a grass move, doesn't it? It could be white wine or red wine. Ooh. It's not always black and white. Like red more? Interesting. Yesterday would have been red apple juice. I really like doing... Okay, so... I like doing these little hand-drawn images for shinies. That was something I started doing with, like, Meryl, and then I did it for Scroopy. The Unova shiny stuff, I did it for Wimpod. Or at least all of those were done in that general style. And I liked it. But then I ended up getting a laptop as well that has a touch screen. So I have various methods now to be able to just draw them with touch screen. So that's why starting with ZA, the quality is greatly improved. They look so much higher quality. I love them. You don't drink wine? Me neither. Awkward silence. Yeah. Nothing much is happening. Oh, sweet. We just get that huge advantage by having all the max airstream or whatever it's called. You would think I would know the Dynamax move names more, but I have not touched Sword and Shield in a while, so... Actually, this mode specifically, even. Because, like, the last time I truly did hunts for this was, like, 7 months ago. I almost sat here and said 7 years ago. Oh my gosh. No. No. Oh gosh. Hold on. Wait. No. No. Hold on. Oh no. Oh no. I sat here and I was like, 7 years ago, can you imagine? These games are not that old. They turned 7 this year. Where is the time gone? And your friends find you weird when you drink pickle juice? Oh. Well, that's interesting. Max Flare, Max Lightning, Max Flutterby, Max Knuckle, Max Darkness. You see, just ask me if you want to. Okay. I also really like how it works out perfectly to where, like, there is a move that boosts every possible stat that can be boosted minus actually, so like your core stats. Aside from HP, there is a move to boost the 5 stats. And then there's also a move to lower those same 5 stats for the opponent. And then the remaining work out to be ones that can set up weather and ones that can set up terrain. You guys ever not know some acronyms and thought they meant something else? Probably. There's definitely been times I've not known an acronym. Now, off the top of my head, I can't think of any, but I'm sure they exist. I am so glad I used wide guard. I didn't even know this thing actually had anything that could be blocked with it. I just was like, that's the most useful thing I can do. So it's nice to know that I'm actually being productive. That I'm gonna use another wide guard because knowing my luck, it's about to surf again. I want to do a playthrough of a Gen 2 game at some point because Gen 2 is literally the only one I haven't played yet. But my issue there is I don't actually know which one I want to play because, like, if I did it on, like, I have Crystal and Heart Gold Soul Silver on my 3DS already, so I have ways to play them, but I'd like to do it as like a series or something. But I don't think I can do that because I don't have I don't have any kind of capture card for my 3DS. So the only thing I thought of is the Wii U, because I have one of those. It supports virtual console stuff for DS. So I'm wondering if there's a way I could set up like Heart Gold or Soul Silver to be playable through like an unofficial virtual console on it. There's no synonym for cinnamon. Really? Guess that makes sense because it's like a very specific thing. Do you want synonym rules? You know, like grammar used to make? I did. I don't know if you heard me call that. I said I just, like I'm sure I've had moments where I haven't known one, but I don't like off the top of my head know what those were. Boom, Tapu Fini down. Okay, I think at this point what I'm gonna do, I did the 10 since the last one ended. So, you know, I went from 40 to 50, and now I'm going over that. So I think from this point forward, I'm going to go until I either get a shiny or I hit something, I don't know, like 60 something, maybe just 70. I'll see how I'm feeling if I hit 60. Well, it also depends on how long. Okay, I've been playing for like 2.5 hours. Have my underwear. Certain it's not that, but you don't. I think it's hit me up. Don't quote me on that. Okay, I think this is a no, but honestly, the right game is so much brighter, I genuinely don't know. That's a no. Fortunately, that's a no. And that's a no, unfortunately. Oh, I didn't double check the Mantine. I hope that wasn't a shiny. I just assumed. I was like, I'm probably just imagining it's shiny because of the right game. I don't think that's what it would have looked like. See, that so annoys me. If I'm only playing one of them, it doesn't matter. Because I'm used to how the colors look on the single system. So, you know, I can tell when something doesn't look right. But when there's two that have the different colorings, you know, it's a lot more clear. Can I edit this while it's locked? Question mark? Because I had the idea to do a filter or something. What if I do limited? I think that made it worse. I don't think that's even changing anything, actually. Whatever. Let's just say it wasn't. Yeah. In reality, it is very unlikely just because of everything that's happened so far. Because the right game has already found 2 shinies. And every single time I do another one, it just puts the left game that more over odds. So I think, logically, it's safe to assume that the next shiny is probably going to be on the left game. Okay, there's Manectric, and I think unfortunately I just have to accept that I might phase on another one. Although, if I get another one, it would be really nice if I got Tapu Fini too. Whether or not it was on the same game, don't care. You can be quite mature for your age, which is the only thing that you like about yourself. Wow. gosh, Absol. He got his, what is it? Alpha Phalanx in ZA. I just got a notification. Very delayed notification, but I did get a notification that he posted that. Hi, how's it going? Okay, I need to catch up. Did you know that when you see a tree and the tree is still, but the tree is so, yeah, so, I had a stroke trying to read that. What do I like about myself? Gosh, there's a whole Dreamcast game that literally asked that exact same question. I'm not saying the name of it because everyone will lose their mind if I say it. I like nothing about myself. Nothing about me is redeemable quality. My unpredictability. Like, seriously, if you sit through, like, if I were to sit down and, like, write out my entire brain's thought process, like, literally just the other day I was like, there's this cool handheld I found that's like a retro emulation device, and you know, it was Game Boy Advance SP style, so I'm like, this is cool and it's not too expensive, I might look into getting it. But then I ended up talking myself out of it, but the whole process was insane. What am I shiny hunting? Tapu Fini, my favorite of the Tapus. I don't want that, and honestly, what they have is not much better. They didn't want it either. Good job. Ground type seems the best for my situation, given it does have electric moves. It's a Stunfisk. Unless that's the Galarian one. It could be. I don't think it is. Because I think that's... Well, actually, I don't know. Whether or not it's Galarian will literally determine whether or not I need this. Because it's really good to go up against Manectric, but... it's not great if... I need to learn to shut up. You're like Tapu Lele? Tapu Lele is my least favorite of the Tapus. I'll be honest there. It's... in fact, it's not just the least favorite of my Tapus. It's my least favorite Pokemon. Which is why I'm actually hunting it next. Because, you know, I just feel like that's the best way to honor the ones I like. is by, because if I do it first, that's too much honor for it. You know, like, why am I doing the least favorite thing first? Like, no. But if I do it any other time, like the last, save the best for last, or second to last, like, oh, it's the big build-up. So that's why I'm doing Lele second. Would I believe you if you said you were over 18? I mean, well, I could ask, but I'm not, because that's not something I'm gonna do. Like, it's not like I'm asking or have a real easy way to ask for any kind of identification to prove it. So as long as you say you are, that's what I have to assume. I'm not gonna ask any different. That's for sure. I'll just say probably don't talk about age. Just for reasons, because TOS, you know, you have to be 13 or older to even have an account, technically. And something, I can get in trouble if I allow anyone under the age of 13 to knowingly be in the chat. So, based on, I mean, yeah. I mean, I wouldn't be able to tell for sure, but I can assume. Definitely not under 13. Okay, good. Because, you know, that creates more issues if you are. And that is unfortunately one thing that is kind of just annoying, is like, technically if I find out anyone is under 13, I'm supposed to ban them or whatever, because they're not supposed to have access to this kind of community or whatever. I don't know. Internet safety or something. So typically the best way for everyone to enjoy is just not mention how old they are. You can't get in trouble for being underage if you never mention your age. It is. The internet is scary. I'm scared of it. But it's so nice. It's convenient. Like knowing if you figure adult or not. That's fair. I mean, I think also the environment you're in specifically, I feel like that gives people more of their opinion than like immediately how you behave, because like, you know, like, you can't really be like, oh, your grammar skills are bad, you're a child, because, well, no, because English might not be their best language, or they might just not be as strong with typing or anything. So, you know, like, you can't really judge a person's age based on that. You luck ducks? What if we swap out the letter U in both of those? Just saying. Just saying. So I feel like if you're in a more adult-oriented environment or whatever, or less PG environment at least, then I feel like then people more likely just assume that you're at least 19 and at most 26. I'm on the lower end of this spectrum, I promise. I'm not 26. Oh. I dread the day I turn 26. That's gonna be so old. Okay, no. 26 is not old. That is not meant to insult anyone who is 26 or above. You are not old. You are very young, actually. But you can't deny that, like, after a certain point, you just feel old. For me, that started when my back pains kicked in. Yeah? Pretty good radar. I've actually been able to pass as way older than I am. I am probably one of the least mature people I've known. One of the least mature people I know is me. We'll say that. So, it's always funny when I can pass, like, without any kind of implication of my age or anything. People just assume I'm a lot older a lot. Like, gosh, what was it? Sophie, you want it? Okay, I'm willing to take this risk. That was a terrible decision. But yeah, like, there was one environment I got myself into way before I turned 18, but it was very much adult oriented. Like, the conversations they had and everything, the stuff they talked about, it was not kid friendly. It was very much intended for, like, the older side of the Pokemon audience. I was not 18 at the time, but they just assumed I was and did not question me at all. And I think one time, this one guy actually... Okay, I say this one guy. This has happened more than once. Unfortunately. I mean, not all of them were bad ways. Let's put it that way. Some people just genuinely didn't know. I've had a few people be like, hey, I think you're pretty cool. You know, date me. I'm like, how old do you think I am? Like, 20? No. And I'm just sitting there like, oh, okay, this is awkward. And it's more awkward when you're not an adult at the time, because it's like, they didn't know, but that's kind of creepy still. But it's like, they didn't know. Like, they genuinely did not think anything of it. They thought I was 20. So, they didn't think anything of it. So I was like, okay. So, to make sure everything's legal and everything, nothing goes bad here, I am not that old. You should know this cannot happen for a while. And I left it at that. And I don't think any of them did it to be, like, weird. Now, the weird may have still come in just from... They're just going to be weird around everyone that they say that stuff to. And it's like, whatever. You know, you can't control that. But, I don't know. I don't know where I'm going with this. Streamer thought you were 13 or 14 based on your personality. I'm going to be so honest. Everyone seems 13, and that's not a bad thing. Like, genuinely, just everyone seems like 13, but in a good way. Like, I'm not saying 13 is in, like, you seem young. Like, that's never what I mean when I say. I just mean, like, we all act like we have the humor of 13-year-olds half the time. So we're cracking jokes that, like, 13-year-olds would make. And it's not a bad thing. Like, it's not as in, like, you know, you're too young to be here type thing. It's like, yeah, we act like 13-year-olds because that kind of humor is still kind of funny. That's typically how I see it. Coaching. Nice. Marshmallow's like 17 to 20 maybe. You're probably way off. I never know how old anyone, like, unless there's someone I actually know in real life, therefore do actually know the age of. I don't really care to know anyone's age. Just because, you know, that is technically private information and stuff. And also, it doesn't matter, because if anything, knowing people's age is actually worse for me. Because, again, someone... If I was like, you have to tell me how old you are so I can make sure you're... Then, like, that immediately shuts out people who are just interested in watching anyways. So, it's like... What if... Oh, I didn't increment the counter. I hope that didn't actually bump up the overlay. You're way off. Wow. Okay, no. Okay. Aw. I don't think any of these are shiny. Rip. You're gonna stop doxing people's private info? Yeah, twin. Has no one ever said that to you before? That's like... I use it a lot. Like with friends and stuff. Has no one ever called you twin? I'm not trying to make fun of you here either. I just want that to be clear. I just thought everyone knew what calling people twin meant. Okay. Nothing's good, but I'll go right. If you had another guess, though, you would say 1350. Wow. Okay, so then it's 16. Boom. If 13 to 15 is close. Just pick the one number that hasn't been set. No, aw. What does it mean? I don't think there's actually like a real meaning to it. I think it's just the same as like being like, bro, what are you doing? You know, like just generic conversation, nickname stuff for friends. That's good confirmation for me. Yay. I mean, I figured you probably wouldn't be this comfortable answering that stuff right after I had the conversation about it, but yay. If that's too low, then that means you are old enough to be here. Yay. Also, Ricky Blue that is a long at. Hi, how's it going? That is... See, I hate that they're doing that now. They switched over to using ats instead of the display names, which is stupid. Because it overcomplicates things, I think. Because the whole... Like, for ats, you have to make it so weird and unique half the time. Because those are what actually have to be special. You like your at? That's fair. I mean, I'm fine with my at over here. This one I'm fine with. Like on other accounts, they get weird. You have a brother from another mother and they don't call you twin. That's fair. I mean, not everyone does it. Oh, so story time. So the other night, I think it was literally last night actually, I was asleep, you know, didn't think anything of it because I was asleep. Then I woke up at like midnight roughly. I don't remember the exact time. But anyways, I wake up and I'm like, oh, my face feels kind of funny. So I kind of like rub at the area that feels kind of funny and tingles or whatever because I'm like, huh, wonder why my face feels funny. And I'll cut out details in case anyone doesn't want to, you know, doesn't do well with certain subjects. But anyways, I find out that in my sleep, I must have like sliced into my forehead with my fingernail or something. So anyways, there's a cut on my forehead. I'm pointing out like I have a camera. I don't. But there's a cut on my forehead now. So it just... There. Thought you meant to say twink or something. Oh. On the forehead. Cut on the forehead. Well, it's not like... Hold on, I need to look at it to see exactly where it is. But yeah, it's... like right where my eyebrows are. It's like diagonal right between my eyebrows. Such a random place to get one. I can see how it happened, but like that has never happened before. So the amount of specific stuff that had to have happened for that to happen, like, wow. I'm impressed. Or maybe it was a zipper, because the pillows have zippers. And I think the way I have them is the side with the zippers is in the middle. And I typically end up rolling into the zippers. So, yeah, I'm not surprised if one of those scratched, because I've been scratched on the arm by them before. Lucky and very lucky. I did. Dang, that was a lot of damage. Well, now I feel dumb for wasting a Giga Drain. Anything would have knocked it out there, I'm sure. I need to do more on my second channel. Because I've only uploaded one video with Minecraft. I was gonna move the series over to PS3 since that's where I would like to play Minecraft now. But I found out that apparently the PS3 has, like, it encodes the HDMI signal or whatever. So, like, if you if you hook it up to any kind of recording or anything, it's not gonna show. It's just gonna be a black screen, which really sucks. I found out there is a way to get around that. I need like an HDMI splitter or something, and specifically a cheaper one, because those are more likely to be able to bypass this whole thing anyways. So I guess I'm gonna have to look into one of those or something. You hate autocorrect? Don't we all? I turn autocorrect off, especially on my phone, because on the phone, like, if autocorrect wants to get you, it will automatically do it. And it's like, no. Because it sucks too, because half the time I talk about video games and stuff that have made up items and stuff. So, you know, it tries to force me to say random things I didn't mean. And it's like, why? So I just turn it off a lot. On computer, it's less invasive, because like it'll be like, hey, this word doesn't seem right. And it's actually nice, because there are some words I just genuinely don't know how to spell. Like, genuinely. I do not know how to spell that word. So it's nice to have autocorrect. I'm also dumb, and I also learned how to spell some words, or got used to seeing words spelt differently, because other parts of the world that use English spell some words different, like color. So because of that, like half the time if I type the word color, I put a U in it, and autocorrect is like, that's not a word. I'm like, yes it is. That's real. King Jelly! You missed another chunk. I love missing chunks. It's fun. Okay, so I think at that point I was just talking about words that get spelt different and why I hate autocorrect. Because I try to spell a word one way, and then it's like, no, that's not how your language spells. And I'm like, whatever. I don't know what else. Oh, I talked about a scratch on my face that I have. That happened. Then I talked about wanting to use my second channel. I'm actually planning on maybe doing something over there at some point, because like I have Kirby Air Riders I'd like to mess around with for a bit, at least once. I don't really know what I'm gonna do over there. Sometimes where I try to say you and it yeah, that's, I mean, that one makes sense, because it sees a single letter and a vowel and it's like, no. And also you and I, at least on most keyboards, are right next to each other, so I guess it's kind of easy for it to see all that and be like, I think you meant to say I. Do I want to hang out later? That's funny. Ask someone that and it's like, do I want to hang out later? I don't know. Do you? Okay, had nose bleeding and sleep once, and we woke up, your whole face was covered in dry blood. Oh. Yikes. Yeah, that kind of happened for me. Not as bad. It was more so my face felt funny. I rubbed at it because I'm like, oh, it must just be some kind of itch or whatever, and I just feel funny because I just woke up. Yeah, no. It was worse than that. Fortunately, it didn't get anywhere. yeah, that... I mean, nosebleeds don't typically hurt. I mean, if it's in your sleep, then you definitely don't have any pain because, you know, you're asleep. Your body isn't really registering pain. I remember there was one time I fell out because I used to have a bed that was a bunk bed without the bottom bunk is the best way to describe it. So it was part of a bunk bed thing, and like it was set up to where it was the top bunk, but we didn't put the bottom anything in. So underneath the bed, instead of having a second bed, what I put was like, that was where my gaming setup went, because it was like under the bed, you know, that's my little area. And then one night while I was asleep, I fell out of the bed, and then when I woke up I was just in the floor. But of course I was asleep when all this happened, and I imagine that if anything, I probably had done it forever ago, because I didn't feel anything when I woke up. But I mean, like, I would have fallen out of the bed, hit my head on the dresser that was right next to it, and then landed on the floor. What's the worst injury you've ever gotten? I think just like any time when I was riding my bike, when I was still learning how to ride without training wheels, because, you know, you fall and get scraped pretty badly on some. Actually, no. So there was one time I was on a treadmill. Well, actually, no, my cousin was on the treadmill, and you know, I was stuck, so it was up against the wall, so like the way it pushed, like the little pad, like it pushed into the back wall that was set up in front of, and I was sitting back in the corner of this space, and I wanted to get past, but the way it was set up, like, there wasn't enough room for me to go behind the treadmill, so I had to, like, step over the moving belt if I wanted to get by. But, of course, I was stupid and stepped on the actual belt of the treadmill, and so since I wasn't prepared to start running with it, it pushed me back into the wall, and then I got stuck up against the wall because it was up against a wall. And then, of course, I couldn't get up, so the treadmill was just constantly scraping at my leg like sandpaper. So for a long time, both of my legs had like really long and deep like injuries, because, you know, it dug pretty deep into me, and it actually scarred too, which I don't think the scars are there anymore. Actually, they're still kind of there. They're less noticeable, because I think just as time has gone by, they've been able to heal. But they scarred, and I had scars on my legs for a long time. It's not really an injury, but I've had 2 migraines in the last 3 weeks. Wow. That sucks. I don't think I've ever had a migraine. I don't know. The only thing I'm proud of is the fact that I've never broken a bone. I always see people who are like, yeah, I broke another bone. Broke a bone. Broke a bone. I'm like, you guys are breaking your bones? I've never broken a bone in my entire life. So there was, okay, I don't know if it was a bone being broken or just like bad muscles or whatever that kept getting pulled or something, but oh, this is 56, by the way. There was one person in band that was, well, one person I was in band with, marching band specifically, and I swear it was like she would be in like an ankle brace or something, and then not even like a week after she had finally recovered enough to be out of it, she was right back in it. And I'm like, what are you doing? Are you intentionally trying your best to damage yourself? Like, alright. No. No. Oh, no Tangeli. And no. Okay. Another one. Wahaha. No woodfish. Is it supposed to be wood? Is that what that is? I never really thought about it. I just knew that they all had like shells or whatever, and the shells were supposed to be things. Like, I knew Fini was dolphin, Bulu was bull, Coco was bird, and Lele was like butterfly or something. I never knew that was supposed to be wood. You've been diagnosed with, I don't know how to say it, which basically means your ankles are always hurting because the bone grows faster than the tendons, so they're always stretched more than should. Oh, interesting. Maybe that's what was going on. When you stack them on top of each other, they make a tone pole. Oh. Do they like perfectly stack, or is that just saying that if you stack them, they make a totem pole? If you do, okay. You were diagnosed 6 years ago and you were told to you grow out of it, but you're having it. Wow. I remember Tapu Koko. I think literally in the game it did it. But like, you know, its shells are on its arms, and you see it like in attacks and stuff. It'll like put its arms together and like close itself in its shell. And I'm like, that's cool. I wonder what the other Tapus would look like. Hold on, let me look this up before I go further with this. Oh, I typoed hard there. Okay, yeah. So I was like, oh, I wonder what the others would look like if they win their shells. Lele I can see, because, you know, she just kind of tucks in. And boom, you're in your shell. But Bulu and Fini, I never really saw how they could do it. Because, like, Fini, the only way that shell could close is if she either bent over with it. Or, I don't even know. Because, like, she pretty much takes up the entire space of that thing. And it's open. And then Bulu, like, for that to close, like, its horns would need to fold. I don't know how rigid a Tapu Bulu horn is. Honestly, the horns kind of look like pencils. I love it. You subscribe, by the way? I appreciate it. I appreciate it. On the quest to start growing again. That was something fun. So, the initial growth, I started out at like 8. Like, literally, I think for the longest time I just sat at 8 subs. It was sad, but I had like one thing that popped off really well, and I just got like an insane amount of viewers and stuff out of it. It was great. And then I don't remember exactly which one it is. It was one of these. What would have to be the last hunt I did. So I think it was either the Meryl or the Violet Living Dex one. I don't know. Anyways, in one of those, I actually hit 100 during it. Like, we were all watching it just to see because I was so close throughout. And I hit 100, and then as a quick little celebration, I was like, oh, let's see if I can get 100 of a shiny. I didn't actually do all that, but I hunted Voltorb and got a good handful of those and started naming it after people who were there. And then I was like, I'm going to do a special for this at some point. And then I never did. Because it was like right after that when I went on my long break. And at this point, I'm just not going to do that. Yeah, at this point, I'm just not going to do it because I am at, what, like 140 something now? Since I came back. And honestly, I think I'm just gonna wait, because knowing my luck... Okay, good. I can still pick my path. I think left would be better. But yeah. I think at this point I should just wait and do it for like 200. But I can do even bigger ideas, because the main idea was literally just gonna be hunting a bunch of Sylveon in Violet. I need to do a bigger plan. Only 2 of your friends subscribe. You have 8, all of them are just your friends. Only 2 friends subscribe. And you have more than 2 if you're wondering. What's my rarest shiny? That is a great question. Even though I know the answer, I'm sitting here struggling like I don't know it. It's Rowlet in Pokemon Moon. That's the rarest shiny I think I have. Because, like, yes, it's 40.96 full odds compared to, like, an 81.92 hunt. But you gotta keep in mind that those resets, especially since it was in the original Sun and Moon, those resets are like, what, 3 to 3.5 minutes or something like that? So, while it might not be the rarest odds-wise, like, it still takes forever to get. Yeah, shiny Rowlet in Pokemon Moon. Your rarest is shiny Alchemy with a rare mark. Nice. I'm hoping to do something related to a rare Pokemon at some point, because... Okay, so, videos. I started Pointless Grinds. It's going to be a fun little series where I do stuff that, like, there's no real reason for me to do it. I just feel like doing it. You know, random grinds. The first one I did was a level 100 grind because that's what I felt like doing. Anyways, I have a few of those still planned to do. One of them is supposed to be rare Pokemon focused. And I don't remember what it was going to be if it... Because, like, it was either going to be, like, one of those mark things where it's try to get as many ribbons on a Pokemon as you can. Or it's gonna just be like get a very rare mark on a Pokemon that's also pretty rare. I don't know. The rarest shiny is an Alpha Swinub in Legends. Arceus I found by accident, which I caught while it was higher level than all my other Pokemon. Nice. we have the alchemy. Oh. So I want to do the like ribbon quest thing or whatever, where you get a Pokemon with as many possible ribbons on as possible. But I'm pretty sure like if you want the true maximum amount, it has to be something that originates in one of the GameCube games. But the issue is I don't have GameCube. I mean, I do have a GameCube actually, but it doesn't, as of right now, it doesn't work. I don't know if that's an easy fix or not. But that, and also, those games are really freaking expensive. So, my only hope is that somehow through emulation, there would be a way to emulate those games and do like all the transferring I need to until I can eventually get onto like official games I have like physically with me. You got Rookadian Sword after hunting for only 2 days. Nice. Shalfa, Porygon, Z. Oh yeah. I probably have some space-time distortion shiny alphas in that game. If I actually cared to check, I don't know. Big duck. It is a big duck. Oh, we lost. Yeah, because that team wasn't that great, honestly. The path wasn't that great. Anyways, I get like one Pokemon. It's a Mantine again. Whoa. Neither of those are shiny. We're just assuming that Mantine is no longer shiny. Look at us just chatting. Might as well get a beer together at the pub. Yeah, that's a great idea. Do you think you could eat the digital duck? No, I could not. Okay, for my sanity, I'll probably stop at 60. None of these are great. A big duck. Digital duck. Porygon Z. Oh. Oh. Okay. How would you even cook it? No idea. You need a ghost anyways. Just go. Okay. Should be live tomorrow. I think I will be about the same time. So I'm trying to find out what time works best for me and everyone else. It doesn't have a brain or a heart, and it don't breathe, so you don't know. True. Does it even have meat? It's coding, is it not? Is it? Like, it's just some digital mess. I don't even know if you could eat it. Eating it would do you just as much good as like one of those apps that were on like iPhones and stuff, where, you know, it would like have you pretend to drink like chocolate milk or something. You've got work tomorrow until 3:30. Yikes. Can't even eat it. Yeah, that's sad. Oh, okay, so I was thinking on something as well that I thought about, but I don't think it's really worth it. I think I mentioned this thing earlier. So there's this device I found. It's like a retro emulation handheld thing. And this specific one is modeled after the Game Boy Advance SP. Okay, what time zone is this in? Are we referring to? Because your 3:30 might be different from my 3:30. UK. Oh. Oh gosh. $12:47 a.m. Is that right? Is that what time it is right now? Oh. There's no way that's right. Please tell me that's not right. You're entertaining. Allow it. Huh? 2:30 p.m. That's your attack. Oh. I mean, whatever time this started, I'll probably be around then. I'm probably gonna do more tomorrow though, just naturally, because you know I want to get this done, and the more I do, the closer I get to odds. So, like, I'm about to do 20 in one sitting for this session, so you know I'm just slowly pushing into being able to do longer stuff. So I should be going around that time. I don't know. What was I saying? Oh, yeah. So, found this device that's pretty cool. It's a retro emulation handheld. And it's styled after a GBASP. It's pretty cool. I don't have a real reason to get one because if I want to emulate retro games portably, I have a 3DS and I plan to get a PSP actually, so that'll cover stuff I'd want to play. And I also have a Wii U, which covers the other part of that because it can output to HDMI, which I was like, oh, that's cool. It's like a built-in capture card. No, because I have a Wii U that can also do that. I don't need this device. So I'm really just not really interested in getting it because I have the ways to do it anyways. So yeah, that's my life. Anyways, don't lecture me on going to bed not late. I go sleep when I'm tired, not yeah. Not actually matters, just joking. Okay. So that's, oh gosh, when is 3:30 for me? For me, let me check. Okay, let's see. So 3 p. Oh gosh, that's like 9 a.m. for me. What? Are the times really that far apart from each other? It's like right now, it's almost 7. That's almost 1 a.m.? Really? Huh. See, I never really look at time zones, because, you know, why do I need to know anything other than my own? Really? Interesting. I'll see what I can do. Late at night then. No, it's fine. I mean, I'm indifferent to when I do it. I just figured I should do this later in the day because I'm like very much a night person. That's just my nature. I'm very much of a night person. I stay up really late. I sleep in until like past afternoon. That's just how I am. And also because I know some of my viewers are like still in school and they have school sessions to work around, so you know, I try to structure it to where hopefully most people who would want to show up, like, they shouldn't be in school, or at least not long while I'm going at, you know, that's my logic here. But honestly, like, since I'm still getting back into things, I'm okay with doing it earlier, so I might do it earlier, not gonna lie. I'll make sure I'm up. To be fair, I slept in, so I think I'll be able to be up by then. I don't even think I'll be asleep. I'm probably going to be up until then with my current sleep schedule. Yeah, I mean, if you want to show up, I'm fine with doing it. But trust me, the past few things have literally been maybe 1 or 2 people show up, say a few things, leave. And that's fine. Like, I'm okay with it being slower right now because I haven't done this in forever. Nobody really has a way of knowing I'm back. So like, I'm fine with changing times around right now. If you would like that, I'll do it. I don't care. Also, the great thing is tomorrow's Friday. Really? Oh my gosh, my internal clock is all off. So I'm on break. I don't need to know what day it is right now. I just do. I've been playing games a lot, so yeah. I actually spent today working on my 3DS because my secondary 3DS that I don't use had a bigger SD card than my main one. So I just went through the process of backing both of them up actually on my computer and then swapping their data around as well, so the bigger SD card is in my main 3DS. It's pretty cool. When you join streaming, you usually only leave quickly if there's no mic audio or if it's just really laggy. That's fair. Oh god. This is a pain. My hair is tangled. I need to wash it tonight. It's about time for me to wash my hair so it gets detangled. Yeah, I don't really watch streams a lot. I'm gonna be honest, like, just the way I prefer to consume content is just through watching videos, especially because, like, even though I am, like, one of the biggest Pokemon fans in the world, I don't watch Pokemon content that much. Like, throughout the day, I typically watch a bunch of random technology-related videos. So, you know, I don't... Just streams aren't the kind of content I consume myself that much. And even if I do show up to one, I just watch it like a video. So I don't participate in chats or anything. I just watch it. Because I'm like, whatever. Because I'm a lurker. That's just how I am. I'm a lurker. And it's not based on, like, anything. I'm just a lurker. I feel like it makes me feel like a real person. Especially when people say your actual name. I mean, I am indifferent. That's up to you if you want to drop that, because that's personal information. That's up to you to decide if you want to put that out there. I am indifferent. I don't care. I just do as I please. You'll consider it? Okay. You don't even like your name? That's fair. I need to empty my trash can. Okay, so I got a little, like, mini trash can because I am very much like a gremlin that lives in my room. I don't really leave my room much unless it's for food and snacks. So I got a trash can because I'm like, it's easier to throw stuff away rather than just like making a mess in the floor or whatever and then having to go back and clean that up. But the issue is now my trash can is overflowing. I do not think I can physically close it and tie it up the way it is right now. So I'm gonna have to take this out, put a new bag in, and honestly some of this stuff might just have to be taken out and put in the new bag because it is overflowing. Makes you sound lazy. I did not think a name could make someone sound lazy, I'm gonna be honest. That was never something I thought about. Big damage right out the gate or whatever. That was a neutral move, by the way. Guess your name? I'm not good at guessing people's names. Every time I've tried to guess someone's name, I've gotten it wrong, and I've just given up since then. Discuss you. So I mean, hey, let it all out. Laura? Is that a guess or is that you saying your name? Mellow? Mellow. For short. Oh. Like marshmallow! It's Mellowetta. We are talking to the Mellowetta. I love Mellowetta. Mellowetta is one of my favorite Pokemon. We'll be back. Teehee, probably. Alright. Am I about to lose this too? I'm going to. Because one of the Pokemon left is literally weak to water. Which one? Okay, obviously not the main game because it didn't have the animation play. Please be a heal cheer. I need it. Yes! Oh my gosh. Clutch. Yeah? Just the two of us. Starfall. Who are you using it on? Yeah, you're dead. Oh, you're not dead. You can live that. Good to know. Good to know. But can I defeat it? No. I mean, hey, never say never. There's still a chance. I think the only issue is, like, every party member right now is weak to it and or slower than it. So this might not end well. I really should have used Thunder Wave just now. Okay, never mind. It would have cleared it anyways. Oh, it's about to attack. Wait, Whirlpool. Yes! Wait, no, that's not enough. Please, please, please. Yes! Yes! Making comebacks from the worst situations. Aww. Number 58 and 57, but 58. Alright. I'm gonna get a shiny now, right? Because that's what the game wants. No. 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 Aww. Probably go after the side. It's alright. I'm getting close to being done for today. I'm only doing one more. I'll hit 60. It'd be nice if this thing shines under odds, just because my last one literally almost went to 400, so it'd be nice to get this one early, but I don't really mind. You want me to just do it by myself? Listen, I've grown used to doing these by my, like, fully on my own, because the last time I did Rayquaza, that took, like, I think it was 356 before I got it. It was like 356, and so much of that was literally me just hunting on my own time completely by myself. Just because I was really committed to just getting the shiny. So much so that I was like, I'm just going to start doing sessions on my own time. Alright, I appreciate it. I will say I do plan to try to do a good job about scheduling stuff in advance going forward. Just so they're all, like, I'll try to keep it at least 2 in advance, so the one for the current day and then the next one, or the upcoming one and then the one coming after it, I guess, in case it doesn't end up being multiple days in a row. Just so that way they're all up there and people can easily see when the next ones are gonna be. I'm hoping that'll make it easier on people who want to plan accordingly. Because I think half my issue is I schedule stuff right before I do it right now. I did the thing where I moved my elbow backward and I hit the funny part on something, so now my arm is staticky. I hit the funny bone. It's I'm rescheduling your entire day. Trust me. Hey, if you trust me, you trust me. Listen, I respect British people. My favorite band is British. And I think with that one sentence it is very clear exactly which band I'm talking about. Yeah, I love British people. They're cool. And Canadians. They're cool too. I don't know many British people and Canadian people, but the ones I do know in real life, they're pretty chill. There is actually one British guy I know because he was in my section. He was like a transfer student, He was only there for this semester. He's not staying too. But it was cool. We got to learn about him and where he came from. It's nice. Transfer students are fun. I am a big fan of a funny band that relates to these insects. They're called beetles. They're pretty cool insects. I actually am deathly afraid of beetles, the insect. So I think that's ironic that my favorite band shares a name one letter off from my least favorite thing. First letter is C. Oh, that narrows it down like instantly. Cleopatra. That was the first name starting with the letter C I could think of. Hey, I just said Cleopatra. You would say your name isn't Cleopatra? The last letter is R. I was gonna double down on Cleopatra, but that doesn't work. The last letter of that is A. Connor? That's like the first C name I think of that ends with R. There's probably others, but I know a person named Connor, so that's the first name I thought of. Well, I guess second name, because that's the second name I've said. Has 3 syllables. See, that's what's got me stumped. I don't know. Three syllables, starts with C, ends with R. This is probably like really easy. I'm just really dumb. Second letter is silent. Oh gosh. Okay, so that makes me think the second letter is like an H, and it's a CH name, but it's one that's pronounced with a hard C. Like the name Christian, but I know that doesn't work, given what I already know, because that's 2 syllables and doesn't end. And R, but bruh, the game did not load yet. I'm a big stupid. It does start with CH? Okay. Marketing is listening to me. I just got like one of the advertisements for Pokemon's official website, and the first thing I see is a sitting cutie plush of Tapu Fini. That's the thing I'm hunting. It also shows Meryl, Vivian. Okay, wait, those are ones I've looked at. I think it's just reading my actual browsing data on their website. Okay, so it's a CH, 3 syllable, ends with R. Second to last letter is E. Okay, so it's CH, 3 syllable, Christopher. Wow, I'm smart. I'm so proud of myself. That is literally a name I could have guessed from like the first hint if I was actually trying. But my brain is so mush doing this one. But this is like the sanity check I need to make sure I'm not like gone. Maybe I need to start doing this. This gives me an idea, actually. I need to start doing sanity checks when I do anything more than 10. Like, play a puzzle game or something, because, like, I can play Tetris. I have Switch Online to play on the Game Boy. So, yeah, just, like, boot up a puzzle game or something. Because a few streamers usually only remember... Really? I feel like Christopher is something I could remember. Or is it just like one of those names that's more recognizable? Do you say that Cheese Man? Or is there like a specific way to say that? And I'm sure Cheese Man is just a name people say for that regardless. Chesman? That makes sense. So, is your middle name by any chance also a C name? I always think about that when people have like double initials or whatever. It's like, did you go all the way? Do you have all the way? I actually knew a guy, which I really hope this isn't the case. So, his first name was Carter, but it was spelled with a K. And his last name was also a K name. So, his first and last initials are KK. I really hope, for his sake, his middle name was not also a name that starts with the letter K. No, and I won't tell you my middle name. Okay, that's fine. I don't need to know. I just thought that'd be funny if it was. I always wonder that, though. If I see someone with enough initials, it's like... Does it go all the way? You have 2 middle names? I forget. Some people do have 2 middle names, and some people have 2 last names. I actually don't know that many people who have 2 middle names. It's not something I see a lot. But I do know a lot of people who have like 2 last names. That's always cool. Only one streamer ever has pronounced your surname first try and was Welsh. That makes sense. I trust the Welsh to get that right. And I guess it also just, that's not a last name I would see. I just realized as well, I never actually thought about this until just now. You call it a surname. We call it a last name. Is that just a difference by region? Just surname versus last name? Because Americans, I guess, are too dumb to know where the name falls unless you call them first, middle, and last. When we first got premium, you were just called Christopher Chesman. Interesting. This screen is always so goofy because the Switch 1 just runs slower. So when it's communicating and waiting for that to catch up, it just sits on the screens a lot of the time. It's hilarious. Oh, sweet, new terrain. You don't think it's a language thing? You only say surname. I think you know some Brits who say okay. I didn't know that was just by like where people are. Like that's just difference. Yeah, surname is not something I don't think Americans say. But Americans are also just weird. Like how we have no concept of how much things are actually worth. So, like, Pokemon games are the best example because I looked into this. So, if you're buying an American copy of the game, it's gonna be like $200 of like for like Black 2, White 2 or something. Let's just say, because that's how much we think it's worth, and people are stupid enough to pay that much for it. So that's why the games are worth that much. But then you look for like Japanese copies, you can find them complete in box for like $45 because they have no reason to overcharge for it. But then I found a couple of Japanese copies that were being sold by American sellers, and those were being priced at the same price as American games. So clearly the games all have the same value. It's just the fact that Americans are dumb and think the value is higher than it should be. And then Americans are also double dumb and are okay with paying this delusional price. You only change to your YouTube name because you started uploading videos and colors that Serpent Slayer BD because your videos were intended to only be Geometry Dash and then you started trying hunting. That's fair. I remember Geometry Dash. I loved that game. I wasn't ever that good at it. I just played it from time to time. I actually re-downloaded it on my laptop a couple months ago just to play on a trip. It was fun. I don't play it that much anymore though, just because it's like I'm not that good at it, and that's just how I am. I just kind of moved on to other games. They were pretty in sync there. The only issue is the Switch 1 just loads animation slower too. You're actually quite good. I've known a few people who are actually very good at Geometry Dash. I'm quite good at Geometry 3. That was my favorite class. I don't think Geometry 3 is a class, actually. I'm making stuff up. Yeah. I knew some people who were good at Geometry Dash. Oh wait, it didn't increment. Go up. This is the big final one of today. And... no! Okay. So, somehow I didn't get anything today, which sucks. Actually sucks. Because, based on everything, the left game should have paid out by now. Oh, gosh. Okay, so... the next time I do this... hold on, I gotta get up to turn this one off. Okay. Next time I do this, which will literally be in a couple of hours, it feels like, I'm gonna try to get at least to 80. Yeah, I'll try to get to like 80 or something. But until then, I'm gonna chill, play some games that I've been working on, because that's what I do in my free time. You've beaten 99 demons and 2 insane demons. You got 90 on extreme demon. Nice. How your autocorrects come a meme. I feel like that's just how autocorrects are. Like in a lot of my friend groups, we have memes just because of like autocorrects, or even like brain autocorrects, where like your brain is running on autopilot. So you start doing something and the brain just is like, yeah, this is what you meant to do. So yeah, anyways, I'll do this in however long. I'll go ahead and get that scheduled just so it's ready. Yeah. Take me nice break. Nice break.